I think it's a skirmish. I think it's a tactic. And by the way, hooray, our leaders for the last 25 or 30 years have had their knickers taken off them by our trading partners. Finally, and by the way, if you want proof, why is the other side fighting not to change it? Because it's good for them. And we're saying change it because it's bad for us. Now, 30 years ago, there's a rationalization for helping China because it wasn't developed. China today is the second largest economy in the world, and more importantly, within 10 years, just by sheer numbers alone, will be the #1 economy in the world. But here's where not liking a guy gets into play. Give the guy credit. First, he's doing what he said he was going to do in the campaign. He's doing it. That's unusual for a politician. Read my lips, no new taxes. Oh, that was only a campaign promise. I can raise taxes. He raised them, and he got his ass kicked out of office. What I'm saying is, we need to have our trading partners under. We did it for Germany. Germany was devastated after World War II. We did it for Europe. We're a wonderful country. We helped them get on their feet. We didn't do what we did after World War I, where we stripped Germany of its industrial capacity, leading to an incredible inflationary period of time, leading to misery, leading to Hitler coming to power.
Right,
okay?
Right.
You make it miserable enough for the people and watch bad things happen. Look at Venezuela. Okay, so what I'm saying is, Jaime, well, first of all, whatever Jaime says, I agree with, because he's so smart and he thinks something I don't do sometimes. But he's right. It's a skirmish. It's a tactic. It's in our both mutual interest to fix it. China is better off with a revised deal than no deal. So that'll happen.
Having said that, you start hearing from the other side. Obviously, they're going to push back on this. Jack Ma has said some things over the last couple of days that have been a little concerning. Not just what we just mentioned about not creating 1 million jobs in the United States, but him thinking that this is going to be a problem that lasts 5 and potentially 20 years in terms of our relationship.
Yeah, guess what? He can't put pressure on China. You might not see him again. Right. All right? He can't put pressure on China. So he comes over here and he ingratiates. He helps himself in the eyes of the Chinese leader. What is he, an emperor now, or he's president for life? I don't know what you call it. But Jack Ma is doing what Jack Ma should be doing for himself and his shareholders and his business.
What's best for Home Depot? What will this mean? And are you feeling any pressures and prices there?
Free trade is best for everybody, but it's got to be fair free trade. You can't say it's
no
free.
argument, but the path to getting to that. Farmers are paying a little bit of a price right now. We have seen some price increases in places like aluminum, but is that, let's say we get through it in a few months, are we going to see some disruption along the way to get
Yes, and it's unfortunately, it's uneven. It's not going to affect everybody evenly, but that's okay. As long as we're moving, look, I haven't talked to one person yet who has not said, we've got to have China modify their relationship with us. Every single person. So we know the overall goal is the right goal. It's like watching sausage being made. It isn't pretty. And this is where we are. But God bless us, we're starting the process. We're not kicking it to the next administration or the next administration.
But changing the relationship long term makes a lot of sense to everybody, I think, with China, but it doesn't mean that fixating on this year's or next year's trade deficit in goods with China is really a part of that equation necessarily, right? I mean, I think that's the mismatch a little bit there. Is that this started out as we want to sell more stuff to China, we want to reduce the trade deficit. That's the president's point of view, as opposed to, look, the terms are bad. They have corporate practices.
Well, yeah, but one leads to the other.
Well,
if you get a more, look, hold it. If you get
a rolling away 15 years.
Look at some of the arbitrary rules China's put in place. Intellectual property.
Yeah.
Okay? That can't go on forever. We pray at the altar of intellectual property in America. We say, if you have the mind to create something that's different, that's original, you're going to have 17 years or whatever the hell the number of years is now to exploit your technology, your invention. They routinely pirate. Okay, go over there and look at the number of products like this that have logos on them, American logos. Never, Armour didn't make a nickel on it. They
Well,
do a
and
bootleg.
you can even see it when there are these global viruses that roll through, and Windows
Mm-hmm.
was one of the ones that was hit so hard. It didn't affect a lot of people in the United States and Europe and other places because Microsoft had put out fixes.
Right.
It was devastating in Asia because it was all pirated stuff, so they couldn't get the fixes on it.
But let's look at, speaking about our looking at China, look at the bizarre behavior. Consider this. The former head of the CIA is encouraging two senior officials of the United States government to disobey their boss. Brennan the other day comes out and says to Bray and the other guy, don't do it, make him fire you. If you did that in the Army, you get shot. It's called treason. This is how bizarre this whole thing has gotten. There's no more, look, Trump was not supposed to be president. 7 o'clock on election night, they had the champagne open over here at the Javits Center to celebrate the arriving of the Queen. Well, guess what? Thank God she's not a queen. Thank God she didn't get elected. And thank God we've got a guy in the White House that at least understands business, and look at the results. We're all better off, like it or not.
Brendan
So now I've given
voted for,
you my pitch, okay?